All right, hey guys, welcome to part four. It's actually been a long time since the last part. Uh, I remember saying, which will be coming out tomorrow. Yeah, it will be coming out tomorrow. Yeah, it didn't happen. The thing is, I'm here, alright? I'm here, and welcome to part four. In this part, we will be UV unwrapping, and it's in the middle of the night. It's 3:18 over here, so yeah, my lights are gonna be off because I'm saving up on electricity. Yeah, I'm saving up on electricity, and also I removed my mustache and beard, and I'm also saving you because I look horrible right now. All right, so this is where we left it in the last part. Assuming that you did your homework right, you should have a good looking subsurfed model. All right, so let me quickly explain UV unwrapping to you. All right, so UV unwrapping, in simple terms, is the process of putting a 2D image on top of a 3D object. So loosely, that's the explanation. So you get the idea of it. So, but if I have to explain it a little more perfectly, a little more in depth, all right, assuming I have a 3D object. All right, this is my AC remote. This is a 3D object. It has 3 dimensions. So and I have a 2D texture over here. So this is a flat 2D texture. So now if I were to just simply put this texture on top of this 3D object like this, you can kind of see that irrespective of how much stuck to the object I keep it, how much flat I make it, I get these loose ends like this, and all of these things result in stretched textures on a 3D object. This is the same thing that's happening inside a software. This is the same thing that's happening virtually. I believe that you can see me. All right, but what if I were to make few cuts, cuts in certain places on this object, let's say over here, and I can rip this object apart. I can just, instead of having it as a 3D object, what if I can make it like a flat 2D mesh, flat 2D cardboard sheet, which if I stick together will again become the 3D object, right? So what if I can make it flat like that? If I can make it flat like that, I can just place the 3D object on top of the 2D image, and that would result in the 2D image just projected perfectly on top of the 3D image, right? So that's basically 3D UV unwrapping. So instead of putting a 2D texture on top of a 3D object, I'm basically making the 3D object into a flat 2D sheet, which if I put together, it will become the 3D object again, and I'm keeping that flat 2D sheet on top of the 2D image, basically projecting all of that texture on top of here. Now the problem with UV unwrapping is that wherever you place cuts, you get seams. These are called seams. So what are seams is basically these are places where the texture is discontinued because there is a cut over there. The object gets cut over there, so the texture goes smoothly. There's a cut over there, and there might be another texture. There might be like another part of the same texture over on the other side. So that's UV unwrapping. So the goal, what they would say, is to actually get the best possible result, the best 2D flat 2D sheet by making the least number of cuts possible. Well, it's a good analogy, but I don't agree with it because you see, when you're making a realistic object like our TV, you see, there would be places on the real object where there would be seams. For example, you take a look at this remote, you can see that there is a seam line going over here. So if this were an image texture, I would actually place a seam over here to to match the real object. So that's so it's a good idea, a good habit to UV unwrap after you have some good reference images, because when you have some good reference images you can just replicate the proper seams on the real object. You can bring the realism onto your 3D object. So let's get right into this. I'm gonna close Notepad because you don't have to see me anymore. All right, so this is my TV, and I've UV unwrap. I've subdivided everything, and I have placed my bevel modifier on top of everything. And just one change that I did is the antenna. I actually made it into two objects over here, instead of having it as one object. It's just a cylinder which has been extruded a couple times, so that's it. Cool. So let's start by UV unwrapping this guy. This guy is the biggest one. So I'm gonna go into the UV editing tab, and right off the bat I can actually remove all of these stuff. And I just realized that screencast keys are not turned on. Give me a second. Now you can see my keys. So alright, right now this is in edit mode, and I want it to be in edit mode. I'm gonna actually go into local view so that I can just focus on the TV. We have a lot of geometry over here, and I'm gonna disable our boolean modifiers and the subsurf modifier and the bevel modifier. This would help me to switch between the edit mode and the object mode more quickly, because if I have all of these enabled, every time I come out of edit mode, it'll actually be calculating all of these, and it'll take a long time, and I don't like that. All right, so where do you place seams? Well, before UV unwrapping, make sure that your object, the scale of the object is 1. If it's not 1, you have to select the object, press Ctrl A and apply the scale. If not, you're not going to be able to UV unwrap properly. Okay, so if you see these televisions, right, they have these wood textures going like this. Let me open my references. All right, so if you see these televisions, right, they're basically wood on the sides, right? They're wood, and if you observe, you can see that these textures go this way. But what the thing is that usually these textures, they get cut over here. They're like different wood planks kind of placed together. So a good option is to actually place seams all over these sharp places. So let's place. I'm gonna hold Alt and select this loop. I'm just gonna place seams on all the sharp edges so that I'm able to separate them like this. And in order to place seams, hit Ctrl E and mark seam. The same way I'm gonna cut out this part. Oh yeah, by the way, when you place a seam, the edge gets highlighted in red. This, Ctrl E, mark seam. So yeah, it's a good idea to place a seam on all the sharp edges. And I'm just gonna make this a time lapse so that it goes faster. Alright, I got all of these speaker holes in the back selected. I'm gonna mark seam on this, and you can see that it's highlighted in red. And about the insides, I don't really need to select all of it. I just have to select like one of these edges, and that would be enough. Alright, so I got all of that, and let me show you what happens if you unwrap this. It's not properly unwrapped, obviously. I'm gonna hit A on my keyboard, select the whole TV, and I'm gonna hit U on my keyboard and hit unwrap. And this is what I get. So right now you can see that we have something like this. And how do you know if it's right or wrong? You really don't know if you've done it right or wrong. So I'm using Blender 3.0 alpha right now. If you're using 2.9, you should have this option over here. If you hit this, there's something called display stretch, and once you do that, this gets colored. If you're using Blender 2.8, well, you have to hit N on your keyboard, and it should be in the view tab. Over here it should be like there should be something called overlays, and over there it should be stretch, display stretch. Alright, so how you read this is that you want everything to be blue, right? You want everything to be blue. The more greener or yellower it gets, it means it is really stretched. So you can see that we have a lot of stretchy areas over here, and we really don't want them. So right now we're just going to be placing seams wherever possible to eliminate them. And you can see that once I selected the TV, the islands, okay, so these are called UV islands. These are called the UV islands, and they disappear the moment I selected the TV. In case you don't want that to happen, you're gonna have to select this button over here, which is UV sync selection. It basically syncs this and this. It's a good thing, good idea to have it to keep it turned on when you're working, because you can just see where the stretch is over here. You can select that vertex, and it's also selected over here. And if you hit the number pad full stop on your keyboard, you get to zoom in on that vertex. All right, cool. So now as I said, I'm just gonna be cutting out all the sharp edges right now. That would help me give a good starting base for the TV. And in order for this to be flat, I'm just gonna make one cut over here and over here as well. Oh, so the thing about UV unwrap, oh come on man, select the edge. Yeah, so the thing about UV unwrapping is that many people don't really enjoy it. All right, it's more like puzzle solving. All right, it's more like puzzle solving. You have to exactly think where the edges, what are the edges that you will have to cut. And I know that these are the edges that I have to cut, because these are sharp edges, and obviously I don't want the texture continuing like this. I want the texture to be cut, and you will see why while texturing. And I'm gonna cut off this part as well. There's not a lot of people who enjoy UV unwrapping, honestly. It's just a minority who genuinely enjoy it. And in order for these to remain flat, I'm gonna select one of them and give them a seam. And now if I hit unwrap over here, you can see that it becomes much better. But still, we have a lot of stretching issues to be solved. You can zoom in and check over here. We have a lot over here, and I think you can just select this and see where that is. Yeah, I think it's the front speakers. Yeah, it's the front speakers. So I'm just gonna, this is just like the back speakers. I'm just gonna time lapse it while I do it. Alright, so I've selected the speaker, and I'm gonna make this whole inner area, I'm gonna give this whole inner area a seam as well. And this one as well. Now place it down here, mark seam. And if I unwrap this now, you can see that we will be getting rid of a little more stretching. Woo! Yeah, we're getting somewhere. You can see that these areas of ours, they basically have no stretching. It's just a little more, and we're done. And I'm pretty sure that this is somewhere in the screen. Yeah, it's in the center part. I'm just gonna be selecting all the sharp edges and cutting them out. These are small details that you know, you can get away with, so it's not much of a problem. Mark seam, and if you unwrap it now, ta-da! Almost done, almost got it. Over here, let's see which one this is. It's over here. I'm just gonna be selecting like this one. The seam didn't continue here for some reason. Control E, mark seam, and I might have to do this over here as well. This and like this. Mark seam, and let's unwrap this fellow now. Much better. We're getting more and more flat islands over here. This one, and I'm going to give it a seam. And a lot better. We are almost done with these stretches. We have one over here. It's this vertex, the corner vertex. Needs to be a separate seam. And you know what, I'm just gonna select all. Oh yeah, we have the corners as seams over here, so we're gonna have to give this one a seam as well. And voila, now you can see that we don't have any stretching, we don't have any green or yellow stuff happening. We have everything is blue. It's better to, you know, zoom in on everything and check it. Alright, it looks cool. So there you go, we've successfully unwrapped this TV. But there is another way to check if you've unwrapped correctly. It is to actually give it a new texture. I'm going to give it a new texture, and I'm just going to call it UV grid. And over here, generated type, I'm going to select UV grid, and it's the default settings are fine. I'm going to hit OK, and you're going to get this something like a VFX object select marked to be removed in VFX in filmmaking. Alright, so this is like an image, a temporary image which gets applied on top of this for you to check if there is any stretching or something weird happening. No, what's with that? Alright. But right now we can't see anything because we'll have to go into look depth mode, and even then you won't be able to see anything because we need to give this a material, and on the base color select image texture, and on the image texture select the UV grid, and right away you can see what it looks like. So basically what you want is for this to be like squares. Alright, you want squares. You don't, if it's stretched, if it's not squares, then it means that your UVs are not right. You want everything to be squares. If it's tilted like this, it's really not much of a problem, but yeah, we can correct that by giving it more seams like this. Mark seam, you unwrap, and there you go. You can see that it's just a lot better now. And yeah, well, there you go. You got, this is what good UV maps look like. Squares, you need squares. Alright, now, but if I enable my bevel modifier and my subsurf modifier, you should see some strange things happen. Like over here, you can see some things happen, and that's because of the subsurf modifier. This happens a lot in modeling and texturing. You can see it happens here as well, and the reason for this is because of geometry. Now if I go into edit mode, you can see that we've got all this geometry going like this, but going this way, but we got nothing, literally nothing going this way. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna be adding some loops over here like this. Maybe 2 is enough, you know, keeping these squares like this. And now if you see this, you can see that those problems get removed. Alright, so maybe 2 was not enough, so we needed more. So let's give it more geometry. Our model is geometry hungry, so I'm just gonna give it like this much geometry. It's not squares anymore, but it's alright, it's not gonna matter here. And you can see that we've removed all of those issues. It looks good now. Everything everywhere is squares. Cool. We've done the TV. We can go back and well, unwrapping the rest of the objects is pretty simple. It's just the TV which is hard, the TV box. Well, unwrapping this, it's super easy. The scale is 1. You know, I just beveled this edge, so maybe I'm gonna select this middle one. I'm gonna hit Control E, mark seam, and probably just, you know, select one of these and mark them as a seam and a U unwrap, and you can see that I've got no stretching over here. And this one is just this one is just super easy. I'll just have to, you know, separate this, and I'm just gonna select one of these edges and seam them, and a U unwrap, and no stretching. Good. The reason I'm not applying this texture on top of these is because there's no need for that. This is a complicated object, and a little visualization would help. You know, you saw that our texture was weird over here, and these objects, they don't require it. I mean, I could apply the same material as this over here, and you can see that it's perfect. There's literally nothing to worry about. So yeah, these are simple stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. And there's this one, which is oh, it's easy. I just have to remove the subsurf. I'm just gonna select this, all the sharp edges like this. I think that's already a seed. Yeah, I've done that, and maybe make a whole straight cut over here. Mark that as, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna mark this as a seam, and if I unwrap this, this is what I get. It's not bad, but it could be better, I guess. What if I mark a seam on this, because it's all triangles in there, and what if I remove that? It really doesn't matter, does it? So yeah, I think that's good. That's a good enough UV unwrap. You know, it's blue, so that's what matters, and it's too tiny a detail anyways. It doesn't matter. And as for these, yeah, these are just cylinders. Just gonna select like one whole loop like this in the back, and move you. You know, select some sharp edges like this, and oh, it's really hard to navigate in Blender, you know. especially when your center is off. What? Where did my selection go? Alright, now man, I can select one again. And here as well. I'm just gonna select these something over there to give the cut, and seam them and AU unwrap, and it looks good, pretty good. Just want to check the scale, it's good. So yeah, now we got the last two objects over here, this one and this one's actually pretty easy to do. Just select all the sharp edges again. Yeah, it's a quick unwrap technique is to just select all of the sharp edges, and I really don't want to be selecting one like this, one like this. Instead I'm just gonna go to select, and I'm just gonna go to select sharp edges, and all the sharp edges are selected, and yeah, I'll just mark them as a seam and unwrap them, and they look cool, no stretching. Anyway, you might be wondering, these are light blue, but you can't really do anything about it because these are already slant. But yeah, what if I put a cut all the way from here? Let's see, what if I could select this like this, but no, that wouldn't be good. It's not gonna be a problem, don't worry. Speaking of seam lines, if I were to split this in half like this, and I mark this as a seam and unwrap this, you can see I get this weird thing. But if I apply a material, if I apply an image texture on that thing, come on, go away. Alright, you can see that in the middle I get this weird cut of the texture. That's what happens basically when you have a seam. So yeah, we don't want that seam line. So yeah, and if I do it now, you can see what it looks like. It looks pretty good. You got squares. That's what else you need. Yeah, good, pretty good. Now about this guy, he's pretty easy. Just gotta disable these guys and you guys as well. And since it's a mirrored object, it's super easy to do. Again, just select the sharp edges like this. Why do I have the inner face? I thought I didn't have the inner face. I didn't need it. Alright, that's alright. Just gonna select all of these sharp edges. Yeah, I could have used select sharp edges. I guess I'm just dumb to not select it. U and unwrap, and you should have good UVs. With that done, congratulations, you have successfully UV unwrapped your mesh. Oh, we got this guy. Not that he matters, because I don't think you can unwrap it properly. Oh, you can. Alright then. Just hit A and just U and unwrap it. That's it. So, that's it for this part. We got this tiny guy. This is perhaps the most boring part of this entire series, man. I'm just gonna go select sharp edges, Control E, mark seam, A, U, unwrap, and that should give me good stuff. Yeah, the reason why I'm just being lazy over here on these things is because these things are details which don't matter. The detail is too tiny that it does not, you don't really have to put so much work into that. Yeah, that's it. So that's it for this part. I will see you in the next one, in which we will be doing the materials, and also I have a really special TV screen material shader over here. It was done by my friend. uh, it's realistic, it's amazing. I can't wait to teach you guys that. And so yeah, that's about it, and I hope you guys are safe. COVID in India is a nightmare right now. The pandemic is a nightmare. We get like 400,000 cases a day. So yeah guys, it's a really hard time here, and I hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys are healthy, nothing happened to you. If you are struggling, my prayers are with you. And it's about it. I'll see you in the next part. Also, my channel has been performing really well, really well, that I have not, even though I have not put up any new videos in such a long time. So I'm back. I really want this channel to grow more. I mean, like, come on, man. It's a small channel, but I'm proud of it. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. It would really support me. Wait, I want you to see me when I do this. Come on. Notepad. Yeah, you can see me. Alright, so hit the subscribe button so that it really supports me, it really encourages me, it really makes me super happy when I get up and see that I got one more new subscriber. It's an amazing feeling. I love it. And hit the thumbs up button so that more people can find this video. And go and watch my previous videos. I have some really amazing videos on my channel. And leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts, and that will be it for this part. I will see you in the next one. Bye. This is Vishnu, signing off.